Hello everyone, welcome back to CBJ Sports. As you can see, we're in a different location today. We got everyone back this week. I'm going to host the first couple segments, and Billy's going to get the last few when we start talking about baseball. But we're going to start with the NBA as the playoffs are still going on. And we're going to start off with CJ Sixers playing the Hawks, and who stepped up most in this series. To me, I think it has to be from the Hawks because they're the team that no one's really expecting to come out of the series. And for me, Bogdanovich has really stepped up. I think he has to be that second primary scorer for Atlanta. And if Trae Young's not in the game, Bogdan has to be balling.
That's what I went with. Bogdan he's been good. Where did he come? Was that the one that came from Sacramento? Yep. He's always been a good player, but now that it's crunch time in the playoffs, he has to prove he can be that. Somebody take a little bit of pressure off Trae Young, not putting up 40 every game, where he can actually make plays and do his thing.
Right. Yeah, Bogdanovich, the first game definitely came out fire and helped them with the first win of the series. So I definitely Bogdanovich.
I'm going with Seth Curry. His last two games, he's had 5+ threes, and that's just taking pressure off Embiid.
See, I love Seth Curry offensively. It's just defensively where he just doesn't match up with anyone. Like, you have to put him on Kevin Huerter when he's in the game.
That's what he's being hard.
But Kevin Huerter can just get a bucket whenever he wants.
Anybody can go get a bucket.
Well, to me, I think Seth Curry, yes, offensively, he's played really good in this series. He's going to have to keep doing that, especially if Joel is not fully healthy. As that moves on to the next question, how much is Embiid's injury going to affect the Sixers during the series? And for me, I think it is the whole key to this series. If he's out, the Hawks can pick up the pace and maybe outrun the Sixers scoring-wise. But when Embiid's in the game, I think this series is almost over just because Clint Capella can't guard up on Embiid. But Embiid's injury is going to be the definition of this entire series for me.
I don't really think he's hurt right now.
But it could be like Anthony Davis. He can injure it at any second.
He's still playing max minutes and all that, but
he has to.
Yeah, I think Embiid, as long as Embiid's in the game, he's in the series, I think the Sixers got the series in the bag.
All three just said basically what I was thinking, so.
Yeah, that's moving on. What has to happen for Atlanta to win this series? And I think I'm just going to restate my point. Embiid has to be out. I think if Embiid's out, the Hawks team, we saw in the first series when Embiid, I don't know how many minutes he played, but he was off and on more. The Hawks could pick up pace and Trae Young could get going in the paint. I think without Joel Embiid in, they can take advantage of Dwight Howard with Clint Capella, and they can pick up pace. But if anything, Trae Young's going to have to drop 50 every game for them to be able to.
Let's say, you said.
they're definitely going to have to stop the threes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so someone needs to step up for the Hawks. Let's not say, if they wanted to win, who needs to be hurt. You're wishing to be someone hurt, so.
Yeah, no.
I
don't want Joel to get hurt.
I think he's hurt.
That's the only way I feel like the Hawks are going to be with standing chance.
It's definitely hard with Embiid in there, but.
I think the Hawks could pick up another game. What's series at right now?
2-1.
2-1. 76ers? Yeah, I think.
It could go 6.
I can see it going 6, but as long as Embiid's playing max minutes, doing Embiid things, I can't see the 76ers losing this.
All right,
Okay. Moving on to maybe, I said last week, if not people's finals matchup of this year, it's definitely going to be a good one. Nets versus Bucks. Without Harden, can this Nets team win the finals or even make it to the finals if they don't win this round or the next one? For me, I think it's easy. I think it's a yes. KD and Kyrie Irving are enough to get you to the finals and win it. I think Kevin Durant's good enough to get you to the finals and maybe win it. But this team is playing more together than I've seen them play all year long. And, with or without James Harden, I think this Nets team's ready to go.
I don't know about that. I think definitely without Harden, I think it would get them to the finals. But if CP3's on, Devin Booker's on, when that team's rolling, that team is rolling. I don't know. It'll get you there, but I'm not gonna say.
If you get to the Suns or if the Jazz get there, you're gonna need Harden. You're gonna need that extra 25 points to beat them.
I think.
I'll have a point to match that later.
Without a doubt, they'll get there.
Yeah.
Without Harden, with Harden, it doesn't matter. But I think people forget how good, outside of those three, how good this Nets team still is. Joe Harris is a good player. Blake Griffin's had a resurgence since he's been with the Nets. And they have a bunch of good role players that can gel right around there without Harden, with Kyrie and KD. And I think they could win a finals without Harden. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's very much possible. Talking about Kevin Durant, I know a lot of the people that watch and know us, we're very supportive of Kevin Durant. But has Kevin Durant proven to you, now that he's on the Nets, to LeBron fans, to Kevin Durant haters, that he can lead a team as a primary scorer? And for me, it's been a yes all year long. He's been able to help guys like Blake Griffin when he came on the team, help Joe Harris. He's been talking a lot more than we saw him do in Golden State when Draymond was talking to him. He's kind of take that learning process and giving it to the young guys like Bruce Brown, and he's been the primary scorer that they can count on every single night. If you're not expecting anything out of that, you know that Kevin Durant's going to have 30. Like, I feel like he's definitely became the main scorer and a leader in the NBA.
Yeah, definitely. When Durant, everybody, when he joined with Curry and them, everybody was questioning, well, who is the main scorer? But Durant's definitely the main scorer. Then that's not a question, I don't think.
I think if you go back to the OKC days, I think he was the primary scorer there when he got his MVP.
I think he became more of a
They just
leader.
couldn't get over
Yeah,
that hump.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
He didn't really talk in OKC. He let Russ do the talking. And Golden State let Draymond talk to the team. Because Draymond's more of that leader. I think he became that guy in Brooklyn.
And it's kind of a little bit of a sidebar, but I think when it's all said and done, I could see KD being a net for the rest of his career. I mean, even if Kyrie and Harden leave, which, I mean, I'm sure both of them are going to want to get paid at least one more time.
I think he genuinely liked Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think he likes the atmosphere, the culture it has there.
Close to his hometown.
I think that's a very good point. I think KD can very much end his career in Brooklyn as a net and be one of the greatest nets of all time, if not the. How can the Bucks defensively match up? We're going to go 1 through 5. We'll start at 1 of who do you want on who. And for me, when you start against Kyrie, a lot of people want Drew on Harden. I think Drew has to guard Kyrie. He's better with the ball handlers, and Kyrie's the main ball handler for Brooklyn, even when James Harden's on the court. So I think Drew Holiday has to be on Kyrie.
Yeah.
We're all agreeing it's Drew on Kyrie. As we move to 2, I went with size. The Bucks have been starting big. I went Chris Middleton on James Harden. I think Chris Middleton's athletic enough to stand in front of Harden. He won't let him get to the rim. I just went size with Chris Middleton.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd go over there because Harden's he's not quick. Like, he's not going to beat you to the hoop. He's going to beat you with your dribbles or step back, something like that. Well, I'd put Chris Middleton on.
3, no, I don't think.
I think these are kind of obvious, I think.
Well, they've been switching. Well, the real reason that I asked this is the guards, because Kyrie and James Harden are such a mismatch. And the reason with James Harden, I don't know if they should start Brent Forbes or Pat Connaughton.
Defensive wise, maybe not.
Because even when you get in the paint, you have PJ Tucker on Joe Harris. Like, Joe Harris is getting a bucket on PJ Tucker. You have Brooke Lopez on Blake Griffin. Lately, Blake Griffin's been getting his own whenever he wants. Like, they match up size-wise, but not athletically.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Like, I just don't know what the Bucks have to do defensively. Like, you don't have anything.
I just don't.
Like, I don't know who you bring off the bench to start
I don't know.
to guard Harden.
But I think having Forbes in, have them threes, because if he's hitting them threes, I mean, that's momentum. That's everything for Bucks with the threes. I think they have to have them threes.
Yeah.
So, but I see what you're saying. Defensively, matchup wise, Forbes is not.
Yeah, because before the series, all I heard was, the Bucks match up perfectly with the net. They don't at all. Like, I watched the series, and when Kyrie drives right by Drew Holiday, Joe Harris gets by PJ Tucker. Lately, they had PJ Tucker on Kevin Durant. Like, that just doesn't work.
Okay, well, if you watch Game 1, PJ Tucker did play good defense on KD. He's like Draymond, but
We say that, and then KD is 30 every game.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
There's also switches throughout the game. I think he had 3 steals that game or 2, something like that.
I feel like
He's just a bigger body. KD ain't gonna move PJ Tucker. It's not happening.
Katie's also just gonna pull a midi. He's just not stopping.
Oh man, he's doing that already.
Yeah. Moving on to a series that I honestly think is over, so I'm not gonna stay long on it. Suns Nuggets, Joker winning MVP. This is gonna be a very disappointing end to Nikola Jokic's season. But I mean, I'm gonna ask one question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much has the Suns team impressed you? And I'm going to start because I knew how good this team was going to be before the season started with Chris Paul. I knew what Chris Paul did in OKC. My problem was Devin Booker. I didn't think he was efficient. I didn't think he deserved the All-Star last year, especially since I love Zach LaVine. I thought he balled out last year, and they gave it to Devin Booker. He shot 30% from 3. But I'm going to give him an 8 just because I was so impressed, especially now in the playoffs, with Devin Booker's efficiency and being able to be that guy when they need him to be.
Yeah, that was the real question about Suns is how was Devin Booker going to perform in the playoffs? And so far, I haven't been let down. I like how he's playing.
He's showing up.
He's showing up. So definitely, I would say 9 out of 10 for impressive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give him a 12 because
I mean, I think everyone knew this team was going to be good, just not this good.
I didn't think they were gonna be a top 2 seed in the West.
I knew they were going to be playoffs.
I knew they'd be good, but I think
I think if you go back to the Lakers series to this series, I mean that team just looks so much different. It's like they got so much momentum, and
They're like, oh, we played our first playoff series, we're ready to go.
Which I feel like
Oh, Bron's out?
Oh, dude, it's just I don't know.
I mean, everybody had a transfer truck if they get the Jazz and the rest of the conference finals.
I feel like the one thing that really surprised me once we got to the playoffs was the energy.
Which you can see,
You know
Chris Paul starting to step
all
up
right.
more. Yeah, my
I'll
bad.
shut
My bad. Go.
What, Billy?
No, I was just saying the energy. Like you watch all these teams play, and then that first game versus the Lakers, the Suns came out with such a passion.
Suns are hungry. They're all
Yeah.
none of them. Does anybody on that team have a chip?
No, they're all
Jake
like
Crowder?
24, 22
Kyrie
years old.
Allen. I'm saying they're all young. They're all hungry. They all want to be great. They all want to be great.
That's why I think this Western
That's
Conference
right.
Finals is going to be, if not as good as the Eastern, if the Sixers get there, I think the Eastern Conference Finals are going to be some of the best conference finals we've
The
seen.
Jazz versus Suns
This
is
is
going
going
to
to
be
be a really
crazy
fun
game.
series. As we move on to the Jazz, can the Clippers guard D-Mitch, and how do they do it? We asked the same question when they played the Mavs, and we said you have to put Kawhi on Luka, and that ended up working. They didn't do it a lot. They ended up putting Reggie Jackson sometimes on Luka in that series, and they've been trying to do that now. I mean, D-Mitch has proven he can get by Reggie Jackson, and for me, I think it's the pick and roll. The Jazz do it a lot with Rudy Gobert and Donnie or Joe Ingles, but mostly with Donovan Mitchell. I think you have to put Kawhi on the pick and roll. If he does get stuck on Rudy Gobert, he might get scored on, but if you give up Rudy Gobert, you're not giving up a 3 from Donovan Mitchell. And lately, that's all that's been killing the Clippers, especially when it matters, is Donovan Mitchell hitting that 3. And I think you just have to put best player on best player.
Yeah, I think the key for Clippers, I think here is one, hitting their threes, making their shots, scoring. Paul George scored, 31?
Yeah, he played really good.
Yeah, so they need that, but if they can hold Donovan Mitchell 25, 27 points, and they're scoring like that, I think they got series in bag.
I mean, yeah, you gotta put Kawhi on D-Mitch. Best defense player. The pick and roll's not gonna work 99% of the time, so you put Kawhi on it.
Which is kind of sad because the Jazz run it 99% of the
You gotta
time.
put Kawhi on D-Mitch.
I mean, it seems like it'd be obvious. You
But
put
it's
your
just-
best defender on their best scorer, and it just doesn't happen. You're
Never.
sitting there and you're watching, you're like,
It will when it gets to game 6. Then.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, we got five. Put him on D-Mitch. Same question we ask every single week. Finals matchup and series. And my teams haven't changed. I have Jazz, Nets. I think the Jazz are just too deep. I think that series with Suns could go 7, but I still have the Jazz coming out and I have the Nets coming out of the East. But I went from 6 to 7 just because, I mean, I think the Jazz defensively match up better than the Bucks with height and athleticism, and especially off the bench against the Nets. But I think D-Mitch being this consistent every single game is going to, like, the Nets are going to have 2 30-point scores every game. D-Mitch is giving you 45, and especially in the finals, I think that's why I moved it to 7. I think the Jazz have looked great early in the series.
I'm keeping my predictions the same. It was Jazz and Nets. I'm going Nets and 5 still.
I'm going Suns, Nets. I love the Suns. They got a lot of energy coming out of there. So.
I'm sticking on mine. Suns and Nets. Suns and 6. Or I think it was 6.
I like it. Moving on to the NFL. It's coming faster than we think. The preseason's on its way. We're going to look even farther, maybe postseason awards. Starting with, we're going to go MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year. Starting with the MVP, I know you're going to like this. You're probably going to agree with me. I went Josh Allen. I think the Bills' offense is ready for another big year. I think Josh Allen takes that step, and now he's going to be the best quarterback in the league, and he's going to get MVP. You agree with me?
I'm going with Josh Allen.
You know I'm agree with that. I mean, we got.
I think the only reason why I think if he can have a better year than he did last year.
Yeah, you got. I don't think everybody's really understanding. Like, we finished third in the league last year. If you want to look at it like this, we finished third in the league last year. We lost no one. Coaches, we literally lost no one. And then we gained on offense. So I'm going to help Josh Allen. We gained Emmanuel Sanders. Everybody's still sleeping on it. I think Emmanuel Sanders still come out and have
Still going to get
crazy
over the
year.
top.
You got Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs. We got Matt Breida from Breida,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't even know how to say the name. But
He's just on the offense now.
to help with that run game, I think we're gonna have a little bit of run game, which is also gonna help Josh
that's
Allen a lot.
definitely
We
So,
get our O-line back. We didn't have
Yeah,
that
we-
for the playoff.
we got our
game
own back, and we drafted 3, 6, 8 guys. So. I mean,
And I feel weird now.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Mahomes.
Oh, boy.
no, dude. Come on.
Just-
I like it. I was about to say,
Just because he can throw up the stats.
Yeah.
You know he will with the offense he has. And then I was looking back and I wanted to go with like a sleeper.
dude, you say yours, I'm going to say mine.
we all gotta have a sleeper. No, name your main, and we'll all name a sleeper.
Okay, this was like deep down in the dungeon of just pulling crap out of my.
What do you name it? Your sleeper?
Yeah.
Is
But
that
I was
what we're
sitting
on?
there looking at teams. I'm like, who could realistically do this? And then I got to the AFC North. And I went with Baker Mayfield. I know a lot of you are going to see that face right there, but he has the
Baker
team
can
to
do
do it.
He has
I don't-
games.
Baker can
He
do it.
can, but
He
I
has
don't.
games.
But I don't know.
They
He
can
has
do it.
stats.
They can do those 13
This is what I'm thinking. I think this is the year he
You
can
don't get
really.
the
If anybody's winning MVP on a team, it's Nick Chubb.
Baker,
No,
Yeah,
they go
Nick Chubb is
33,
good.
Baker gets MVP.
They won't give it
It's
to a
not
running
gonna be
back.
because of
He already
Baker.
knows.
Baker
It's
can get
quarterback
stats.
award.
Yeah, I'm not saying he will this year. He can.
No, you said it's not because of Baker. Did you watch that playoff game?
That's what
I
I'm
said
saying.
he
I
can't get the
think,
stats.
That was all Baker.
I think this is
Nick Chubb got him to the playoffs. Let's say that. Nick Chubb.
No, I'm not
pretty
listening to the
much-
Baker
yes.
hate. I'm not.
Yeah, we
Baker's
had this argument earlier.
Proven every year that he's better and better every single year.
And this is the year I think he finally, if his team is healthy.
I'm not hating on Baker. I'm just saying, but like, I'm not coming out and saying he's gonna have an MVP season.
That's the reason it's my
I mean, it's
third
just
He's
one.
sleeper.
set for an MVP year. He's in that, what is it, third, fourth? He's set for that big year, especially with that offense.
That's what I think. I think as long as that team stays healthy, he's the one of the best offensive lines,
Oh,
one of the best running backs, one of the best wide receiving cores. I mean, he has it all together this year to do it. If he's gonna do it.
I agree. Since we're adding sleepers, I went with a guy who, yes, it was a little fourth quarter stat pad, but I mean, if he plays all year, he wins MVP with the horses attached to the wagon, and it's Dak Prescott. He breaks every passing record we've ever had in the NFL if he stays healthy. I went Dak Prescott. He's coming back from injury. He's going to be there to prove something. Even if Zeke's not with him, he's going to run up the scoreboard, and they're going to average 30 if Dak stays healthy.
I love Dak. People just hate on him.
I don't
He's a
think
fifth-round-drafted
people
quarterback.
just hate on
I
Dak.
thought you were about to say
Cowboys.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
I was
the
like, oh my
Cowboys.
God.
It's all offensive plays for
Yeah.
the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't think it's people hate on Dak. It's people just hate the Cowboys. Like, they should be doing way better with that, the amount of money they have in players right now. But also, I don't think that one's a bad. I like that. But if I'm going sleeper, I hate to say it, but 'cause I hate Lamar. But I think
Oh,
you always said
MVP
you always said that he needed a receiver. So I think he's got Sammy Watkins now, who's not the number one receiver. I don't think.
Let's just be honest.
But
LeVar could win MVP every single year if he's just healthy. Like it's just he's gonna have almost 1,000 rush yards a quarter.
was he hurt last year?
He's gonna have 3,000 pass yards.
I didn't think he was.
Yeah, he was still like
I mean, he had
top 10
he had
quarterback in the
yeah,
NFL.
Yeah, poop. I mean,
Then Tracy
And then he came out and won that game.
Tracy
Like-
McSorley came in for him towards ACL.
Every year he can win.
I'm going with Carson Wentz.
I
on
wanted
the
to say
Colts.
that too.
He's back with Frank Wright, where he almost had his MVP season, but he got taken away. I think he's going to be back where he left off with Frank Wright.
I like that one. Moving on to the offense play of the year, so we're going to just go through our main one, and we'll come back around with the sleepers. Offensive player of the year, I went low bias, Christian McCaffrey. He's back. He's fully healthy. We've seen the weight room videos. I mean, he looks bigger than he was before he got injured.
Did you see him doing that?
Yeah, I mean, he looks.
Reverse. I don't know what that was.
It's scary to me that he got bigger, but Christian McCaffrey is going to have another crazy year. I mean, it's kind of giving me. I think Christian McCaffrey can win it by a landslide.
I went with Derrick Henry. I think, if anything, he's going to do nothing to get better this year.
Or lose carries.
No,
I don't know. They're still a run-first team. They're going
I'm
to
not
30
disagreeing.
times a game.
He's getting 30 carries a game.
And actually, there was one I went with.
that is the Titans.
There's one I went with just because, one, I think it's going to make him mad. It's make Blake mad. But I was trying to think of a team that could be good, but they're going to need that certain person to beat the team. I want Alvin Kamara. I think
Sleeper.
yeah, it's just another one. I don't think it's much of a sleep.
That's what I'm going with that one tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, good enough.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad one.
I think if
I mean,
anybody's going to need
yeah, he's got to have to step up. I mean,
if anybody's going to beat the
Quarterback
team,
is-
Winston.
it just
yeah,
needs
it's going to be James.
someone to get him
He
involved.
gets like 4 touchdowns a game.
I like Alvin, but I think Derrick Henry's gonna win that. I mean, I don't think he. I mean, Derrick Henry could have the MVP season this year. I mean, he's right there the last couple of years, but I don't know. It's hard for a running back to get MVP.
Yeah, it
So I
really
think
is.
it's easier just to give him Offensive Player of the Year.
Alright, who wants to start with sleepers? Go.
Oh, man.
What about
We're doing
sleepers?
sleepers for everything now. Anybody else got one real quick while I'm thinking?
I don't know. I gotta think. I ain't even doing sleepers.
I'll start. Offensive player of the year sleeper, I'm going to go DeAndre Hopkins. He has, crazy year every single year. I think I was going to go wide receiver. I was going to go DeAndre Hopkins or Mike Evans. I think Nuke's going to have another crazy year. Kyler Murray's getting better. That team's getting better. I think they're going to have a good record this year. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to get loved at Offensive Player of the Year if that team succeeds in the way I think it will.
I think I'm gonna go Carson Wentz. I think everybody was down Carson Wentz because of where he was at Eagles, but I think him coming back to Frank Wright, I think he's gonna have a crazy year.
Jeez, I don't know, man. It's tough.
That's
I
tough.
think Offensive Player of the Year, I try to go more.
I
positional.
didn't want to.
So
Yeah, I
many
didn't want to go
different
My
quarterback.
first
I think-
sleeper,
Usually it's running back.
and it all depends to me if the team does good or not. I was going to go Justin Jefferson. I know it's a weird one, but he's the number one receiver by far on that team. Kirk Cousins is going to get the ball to him. It's just a matter I think it really does depend on record sometimes, too. Because there are some players that might have a little bit, but is my mic not working?
I don't know if you had it turned to your face, but okay, you're good.
But yeah, I mean, I can see Justin Jefferson doing it if that team is good.
I agree.
I'm going with Diggs. I think he got snubbed
Of
last year
course you are.
because he
That's a
wasn't in there.
sleeper pick.
Well, he
here.
didn't even get in last year. He had 1,500 yards. So
I like that pick. Moving on to defensive player of the year, I think, if not going to be maybe one of the best defenses in the NFL. I hate on him so much. I'm finally going to give Jalen Ramsey his love. I think Jalen Ramsey can lead the league in interceptions. He's going to control that Rams secondary, and no one wants to line up against Jalen Ramsey. I don't care what receiver you are. You know where he's going to be. If you're the best receiver on the team, he's going to be lined up right across from where you are, and it's going to lock you up all game long. I think if anyone deserves it, I think it's Jalen Ramsey.
I'm gonna go Xavier Howard from Miami because I think he had a crazy year last year and kind of was under the radar. He still wasn't. I don't think crazy talked about.
I think he finished third last year in the deep boy.
So what he had 13 interceptions,
No, 11.
11.
I like it. Come on, say JC.
yeah.
Jackson. Just have another good
Yeah, I'm
year.
going to trade it. Oh, that's facts. I'm going to trade it. I seen a,
That's back another good
I seen a stat the other day from 2017 when he entered the league till now.
He's like the only.
I
player
think he was
I've seen.
he's the only player that had a certain amount of interceptions, knockdowns, total tackles, like everything.
He has a crazy
leads,
stat.
He leads every
that
corner.
He's the only corner. I can't even think of it. Look it up. But I think let me say this. Are we doing sleepers for this?
Hey, can I say mine
Let
first?
Billy say it.
Okay, that's what's Are we doing sleepers?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything.
Go ahead.
All right, Aaron Donald.
Oh, yeah, it's easy.
I wanted to go Xavier, but
Yeah.
I mean, somebody had to say Aaron
You got
Donald.
the greatest team.
If somebody didn't say that, would have just been disrespectful.
See, that's not act like he could win it every single year. He steps on the
Who?
Aaron Donald.
I know that.
Yeah, I thought you
All right, we're
just
doing
said,
sleepers.
he's a defensive
All right, let's do
tackle.
sleepers now. You're not.
So, let's go with the greatest.
Go.
Go.
We're doing sleepers.
Go.
I want you guys to hear me out.
Oh, God.
this is kind of back to Aaron Donald's roots. I don't know if you guys been following Aaron Donald on Twitter or on Instagram, but he's been working out with Dane Jackson, cornerback that was drafted by Bills last year in the 7th round. Dane Jackson has shown so much improvement. And Dane Jackson is going to have the ball thrown at him all year because you got Trey Day on the other side. They're not throwing at Trey Day all game. They're going to be throwing at Dane Jackson. So I think Dane Jackson is going to step up this year and have a crazy year.
He was hurt most of the year, but he played 4 games last year and had 4 picks.
I mean, that's the definition. That's like
Aaron Donald's been talking crazy about him.
I found that stat. It's since 2007, he's only played 15 plus interceptions and 50 pass deflects.
that's like Sleeping Beauty type of sleeper. Like
Yeah, it's a reach, but I think he's gonna have the ball thrown at him because they're not gonna throw a Trey Day all the game. They're not.
well, my sleeper going back to what Blake had a spurt a name earlier to CJ. I was gonna go J.C. Jackson. I think
He's got another big year.
if he can build on that year he had last year. As much as I hate the Patriots,
He's got Stephon on the other side. He's gonna get thrown at.
he played really well, and I think
You go.
I don't know if it's as much of a sleeper as I'm thinking it is, but it's. I mean, I could really
He's
see.
got a big name, but
Yeah, I think- I'm gonna
The
go.
only thing that hurts him is he just gets too many yards put on him. That's the
I
one
think
thing that hurts
Stephon
him.
put up 120 on him.
Decent player year, dude. You put up 15 picks, and you're winning that. It's just,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
weird like
Well,
that. You can give
duh.
him 2,000.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go the same reasoning with a little bias. I'm gonna go this reason of now you have J.C. Horn, who's gonna be the number 1 guy on the other side of the field. I think J.C. Horn had a big year. That could be a sleeper pick.
Who I think you are.
I'm gonna go Dante Jackson. He's got the speed to keep up with anyone in the league, any wide receiver. You can put him on a Tyreek Hill. He's gonna keep up. There's a 4.4 flat. But Dante Jackson's gonna get going at. People pick on him all last year, and if Carolina runs the man I think they are with JC on the other side, I think Dante could have a really big year. And if not, I'm going to give you Jeremy Chin again. I think he could win it. 2 touchdowns in 5 seconds. Jeremy Chin can put up stats like anyone else in the
You're
NFL.
going with T.J. Watt. I mean, he's right there every year. He gets the sacks. He
He deserves
gets interceptions.
He deserved it last year.
I-
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
really
should have
did.
He should
I
have
mean,
won it.
What does he have every year? He probably has like 13, 12 sacks every year.
Yeah, outside
He's a
linebacker.
dog, dude. I'm going with T.J. Watt.
I like it. Did everyone give it?
Yeah.
Okay. Last one when I get to, we're just going to give our name. I'm going to go Ron Rivera for Washington for Coach of the Year. I think Washington can have a really good year if Taylor Heineke's for real. And that, you sign a guy like Curtis Samuel from Carolina. You have Terry McLaurin. Now you think you're out of your quarterback. Antonio Gibson looked good on Thanksgiving at running back. We already know how good that defense is. I've talked about them earlier. I don't know if they're going to be as good as we think they are, but they could be runaway in the NFC East. And if they are, I think Ron Rivera gets Coach of the Year.
All right, Blake. I'm not asking you this question, but I want to see if these two know. The coach I'm going with is Brandon Staley. Either of you know what team he coaches?
I know the name.
That is the new Chargers head
I was
coach.
gonna say he's a first year coach.
Yeah, I think if he can get in there, the offense is already really good.
Oh, yeah.
That defense, if they can, with the talent they have on it, if they can finally put it all together, that team can be really
Especially if
freaking
Justin
good.
Herbert has a second-year push.
Exactly, and I think
I said offense is there. Derwin James comes back on defense.
he could take a sub 800 team to a 10-7, 11-6 team, and I really think he have strong contention for it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Say Sean McDermott. Dude.
You can't go Sean McDermott now. He should have won it last year, but Browns had a
Say
fluke year.
he's going to do it every time.
Did you say a fluke year? No,
Well, I'm
Cleveland slander will be
Yeah, I'm
tolerated.
done with that. Man, you need to cut that out. We're going to make t-shirts. Josh hates Cleveland.
No, I think it's more of it wasn't even Cleveland. I just
Anyone
saw,
from Cleveland, dude, you just send hate mail just right in.
And I'm
it's
gonna
not
be
even
honest.
it's not even on Cleveland. I know you guys talk about strength of schedule and mean not the NFL, but I mean look
It
at what
does.
Steelers. Look what happened to Steelers. They went 11-0 and then just fell apart.
Because in the NFL, every single week you can lose. It doesn't matter who you
Yeah, I
are.
know that, but I mean,
Unless you're playing the Texans this year.
Steelers like they were not.
Davis Mills.
I don't know.
Okay, who you going to coach of the year?
Real quick,
Sorry.
just saying, I think Brian Flores would have won it before McDermott last year.
Oh, I can't remember his
Yeah,
name.
you would have.
Hold on.
Thank you, Blake.
I don't know.
Oh wow, I'm facing the wrong
We
way.
got to make the playoffs this switch.
I can't remember.
I'm going with Urban Meyer, baby.
Oh, God.
First year. That's fourth.
We just went all Bills and then Urban Meyer.
All right, we'll go Sean.
Can we just dude, if we had, You just wait till we get like the ability to just put stuff CJ says on a screen somewhere, and it's just gonna be the funniest thing ever. Because we're just gonna list everything he just said in order
Hey,
for
can we
us.
make that
It's gonna be Bills player, Bills player, Bills player, Urban Meyer.
Well, you were complaining that I was saying Bill stuff, so
To maybe one of
Well,
the.
you can't go Sean McDermott. We
Questionable
finished
hires.
third last year, so like
Okay, go.
they expect you to be good this year. I'm gonna go Arthur Smith for Falcons.
I like it because I think the Falcons will be good this year.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. We've been talking about sleepers. We're going to go our each conference sleeper team. In the AFC, I'll start it off. I'm going to go the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow's for real. I think Joe Burrow's that quarterback in Cincinnati. Yes, he's coming off the ACL. He's going to have to recover from that, but I think they had a good draft. Jamar Chase is going to be good. Of course, they have to address the offensive line issues. They did in the second and third round. They may or may not be there, and that defense is a little young. But I think if the Bengals can, I mean, you have one more playoff spot. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be a lot better than they were last year.
Are we starting with AFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chargers. I mean, I just kind of reiterated it with the new coach and everything, but they got to start putting it together.
I like it.
They have too much. They're starting to get old on that defensive end. They got to put it together now.
I'm gonna go Houston. I'm kidding.
dude, I'm gonna say
I
what?
kind of like zoned out for a second because you said something so dumb that my eyes were like trying to like figure out what my brain
You
was.
said Houston, I was like Astros.
I'm gonna no, actually.
Oilers.
I'm gonna go Denver. I think Denver's gonna find their quarterback, and Teddy or Drew's gonna come out and have a crazy year. And I don't know, but I think Denver's gonna be the year. Even if it's not Teddy, I think then Drew comes out and has a crazy year.
I'm going with the
They have
Raiders. John Gruden better.
No, I don't
Gotta
never-
do
they
something
don't
here
ever run
soon.
Gruden.
They got weapons now.
I love Derek Carr. Like he matches stats with Patrick Mahomes. Like people just don't realize that he has the stats with MVP guys in the league, but they just don't have the defense to win games. Like Derek Carr does his
baby.
woo. Derek Carr does his job every week and they lose. Like
And then they blame it on Derek Carr.
I love the pick.
I look at it as like, is it like? They competed. They beat Kansas City last year once, didn't they? So I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind. I was thinking like when you said that like Deshaun. Deshaun had the most passing yards last year, but it's because they're down by 40, so they're just airing it out trying to make it.
No,
go
I
bad.
think.
Yeah, no, that's why I did. They competed with Kansas
Derek
City
Carr
and beat them.
competes, yeah.
So.
You said Atlanta? Or no, who did you say?
What is it? Oh, Denver.
Denver.
Oh,
That's what I said. Moving on to the NFC. I mean, I could go Carolina. I think Carolina's going to be good this year, but I'm going to go with a team that I talked about a while ago. I think Washington's going to run away with that NFC East. I just don't think it's going to be close. I think the defense is too good. We know Taylor Heineke's a dog, and even if Taylor Heineke's not, I trust Kyle Allen to lead that team and win some games, and especially in the NFC East. Everyone knows how I feel about Allen. I think that team's built to win now. They have the offense. Terry McLaurin's a top 10 guy in the NFL. Curtis Samuel's a good slot. Is it Denzel Mims they have?
Yeah.
No, that's
No, Steven Mims.
Steven Mims. Denzel's on Jets. I think this team's ready to go now. I think they can win that division.
Who'd you say?
Washington.
There's a lot of good.
The real question is for them is who's starting, because right now
It's
it's
gonna be
Fitzpatrick right now.
Oh yeah, that's just
You have
stop. No, dude, I just don't like that though. You're not telling your team you want to win a Super Bowl right now. Start Ryan Fitzpatrick. You're just not. When you walk into a
Why
locker
you
room as a
hating on
coach and say
Fitzmagic?
Ryan Fitzmagic starting this week.
Why are you hating on
Your
Fitzmagic?
whole fan base knows. Oh, we're not winning a Super Bowl this year. Fitzmagic's our quarterback.
That's the only reason we even made it. Anyway.
No, I know.
Thank you.
I know that can be the reason they win.
He's a proven.
But like, give your fan base some hope. Like,
yeah,
if you go to Taylor Heineke this season, like you don't know what can
Hey, all right,
happen.
let me say this. You might be the only guy in this earth that hates on Fitzmagic.
No, because I just know. I know with Fitzmagic, he could go out there and throw for 300 yards. But guy, you could lose by 40.
Is that his fault though? If they're putting up 40 points on your
I
defense?
just. It's the same feeling I have with Ryan Fitzpatrick and I do with the Sixers. Why? I just don't trust them.
They have the defense. They don't need
I just
Fitzpatrick
don't
around there to score
trust
50.
them.
But he can if he needs to. But
No
they have the
trust
defense.
whatsoever.
He's a
dude.
proven
That's why he's
quarterback.
got so many different teams. No team's going to give him the money and trust him.
Look what
That's the reason he's still in the league.
exactly. Look what you did with Miami. Miami had a top 5 defense last year, and look, they made it to the playoffs.
They did.
They almost did.
They almost did.
Come on, AFC was crazy last year. They should have.
10.
How many wins you had last year?
It's
We
not-
have 10 wins.
10 wins and didn't make playoffs. I mean,
It's
come
not
on.
hate. It's just
He's proven.
there's
it.
no.
You can't.
He's not.
He's there.
I'm not putting Taylor Heineke that had an awesome playoff game. You don't know if he's going to do that again. You just don't
I'm not
know.
hating on him. I think you have to start Fitzpatrick. You have to.
You already know what Fitzpatrick's going to do. He knows the game of football,
Dude, he went to Harvard.
in and out.
Smart.
All right, what was sleeper NFC?
Yeah.
NFC. There's a lot of
I'm
good
going
ones.
with the longest home run ever, and I'm going with the
Don't say
Eagles.
Detroit.
I'm going with
Oh, I was
the
going to go with Detroit.
You're going to try.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, I like that one better.
What? Then?
I think Jalen Hurts is going to prove everybody wrong.
No, I'm wrong with that.
No, he
Yeah,
is.
what? Come on.
No, it is.
Jalen Hurts will be benched by the mid-year mark.
Yeah. They just hate him.
Yeah,
I'm
the-
sorry.
Joe Flacco-
And he could. I'm really be honest. He could start off 4-0 and they still might bench him.
They're not-
They just don't like him. Philadelphia doesn't
I'm
like
not
him.
going to bench him. That's another first round draft pick.
Just go ahead and say some lines, dude. Jared Goff's not
I'm
winning
not
games.
going Lions. He said he
What?
wanted Lions. I'm going.
I wanted to. Really wanted to.
I'm going. But hey, they got Sewell. What's his name? Sewell. But I'm going New York. I've been saying the last couple podcasts. I think it's got to be Daniel Jones' year. It's got to be. They got his help. It's all on Daniel Jones this year.
I'm going to go with the Bears.
I'm buried.
Actually, I wanted to go there, but they made playoffs last year, so I didn't.
As long as, I think for that to happen, though,
Andy
Justin
Dalton.
Fields has to be the starting quarterback by week 3 or 4.
He has to.
I mean, I'm tired of seeing some red
People lose
rifle
half the
crap.
fan base.
Andy Dalton hasn't been good for
Half
years.
of Chicago will move away if Justin Fields isn't starting by
They'll
week
move to the
4.
north side.
They'll be Vikings fans. So you went Bears.
Yeah.
This is a thing that I saw on CBJ Sports this week, and it was the top 5 wide receiver duos. And first off, I got mad because they didn't have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson in it, and I think that really ticked me off. But I was just looking at the top 5 and thinking you can go so different with this top 5, and they had 3 different guys ranked the top 5, and it was all 5 different groups of receivers. But we're going to start from 5 and go to 1. I think this is going to be an argumentative one. And starting at 5, I told Billy there in my top 5, I went with the Cleveland Browns with Juice and OBJ, and in parentheses I had healthy OBJ. Because if OBJ is healthy and Jarvis Landry is full go, I think they have to be in that top 5, and that's why I put them just at the 5.
I go with them at 5
Did you go?
Jarvis and OBJ.
because I don't think they're up there.
Yeah.
But they're right at 5.
They're elite. They're both elite.
Yeah, they're right at 5.
I'll give you that one. I'll put them at 5. Yeah.
I think with 5, I'm going to go Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I think that's fair enough.
Adam Thielen had a better year than we thought earlier in this thing. We had an argument a couple weeks ago. Adam Thielen had a better year than I gave y'all credit for, so I apologize. No, who else? Did you say 5?
Yeah,
Yeah, one of those.
Cleveland.
No. 4. This is going to shock you because I have 3 ahead of these guys. I'm not a DK fan. I have DK and Tyler Lockett at 4. I don't think Tyler Lockett from old, and DK is a super freak, don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's a route runner by any means,
Oh, yeah, no.
and he's a go-get-it guy.
Yeah, he's just a
That's
freak.
why I have 3 above these 2. I have DK and Tyler Lockett at 4.
That's why I have it 4. I have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
I'm putting Amari Cooper and CD at 4.
Wait,
I'm not giving DK that.
can I
I'm not giving him
can I
that
take
privilege.
real quick? Can I take DK
No,
and what's his name?
This is
and
why you make it 4, but yeah, go ahead.
So wait, is this pure wide receivers or is this wide
Bro,
receiver?
Wide
tight end?
receiver duos. Wide
What
receiver.
the?
Duos.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
No, I'm talking about like can tight ends be put
No,
yes or no?
no.
Okay, then never mind.
No Travis Kelce allowed
Wow, that's
here.
Yeah.
Go. Are you keeping DK and Lockett
yeah,
at
I'll
4?
keep him
Chiefs
there.
are not in there.
Yeah, they don't have a second receiver. Go.
I put Amari and CD.
I'm going to go DK and Tyler Lockett.
This is where you're not going to have the same 3 as me. I have 2,000-yard receiver guys. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, not the route runner DJ is, but DJ's got the route running and the go-get-it. I think DJ Moore is the most underrated receiver in the whole league. He's got to be a top 10 guy for me. And Robbie Anderson proved he's better than he was in New York this year. 1,000 yards, almost 10 touchdowns. I have them at 3 just because no one behind them, I think, had 1,000 yards, both of the guys. I have DJ Moore Riley.
I'm going with this coming year. With this one, I'm going Diggs and Gabe Davis. That's what I'm going.
No, what? Did you just say Gabe Davis?
I'll put.
My third is gonna be
I would have been okay
Mine
with
Beasley.
Mine
Yeah,
was okay with Nuke and like
No.
Christian Kirk.
No, my
AJ Green?
third best is Diggs and Cole Beasley.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Cole Beasley slept on, bro.
I'm with Odell and Juice at 3. I think that's when they're both healthy. Juice is one of the best route runners in the game,
Who was your 5? Who you had questions?
and I think that Odell healthy is one of the biggest freaks in the entire game right now. When he's actually healthy, and I got those at 3. I can't think of words. My brain's not working.
Yeah, Billy, go ahead, stop that. 2, I went Julio and A.J. Brown. Julio's, one of the most crazy wide receivers in the league, and A.J. Brown's proved to us last year he can be a Julio. So having 2 Julios on each side, that is just crazy to me. I have to put the Titans combo at 2.
If this wasn't A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, it'd be Calvin Ridley and Julio.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go A.J. and Julio. That's no doubter.
Yep, 2.
Yeah, I think 2. I think everybody else.
I think
it's
everyone's
one
going to
and
have
two
to one Mike Evans, Chris
Mike
Godwin.
Evans, Chris
Godwin.
That is the craziest duo. You can almost switch Chris Godwin with AB, how AB plays the
Scotty
playoffs.
Miller.
Scotty Miller played the playoffs. Mike Evans with anyone, I think, could go at 1. But the Bucks lead that off at 1, and that's going to wrap off that segment, and Billy's going to take over.
Hey, Blake. Let me sit up. All right, moving to the MLB. First question I wanted to ask, I don't know how much y'all been keeping up with baseball this year, but what is wrong with the Minnesota Twins? This team was the top team by far in their conference last year. Basically the same team as it was last year too. They didn't lose much, they didn't sign much. And now they're 9 games negative, last in their conference behind teams like Detroit and Kansas City. So for me, I think it starts with the old players getting old. Nelson Cruz is still.
That's the first sentence on my note. Is 40-year-old Nelson Cruz can't lead you in batting average and RBI.
I think it's a reliance too much on the long ball.
Yeah.
I think when you got players like Miguel Sano, Max Kepler.
What's his name? Ref Snyder.
What's the steroid,
Yeah.
Josh Donaldson?
Josh Donaldson.
Yeah.
They
A lot
have
of
too many
much
players
youth.
that
Not much youth.
rely way too heavy on the long ball. So they have guys hitting for low average. They're all hitting 10 home runs. Other than Byron Buxton, and that's
It
not the
might
only
just
good player.
be their bullpen.
Well, that's another point that I wrote down is your starting rotation
I haven't watched this
is
year.
literally Jose Barrios.
And
It's-
Maeda.
Yeah, I give you my, but Barrios is 6-2. I don't think his ERA is over 3. It might be barely over 3, but Barrios is having a good year. And then you see him get swept by the Tigers, and it's like, oh, Barrios didn't pitch this weekend. It's like, oh, that's why they got swept. But I disagree with you because yes, it was at 7 o'clock this morning, but I went through the thing. They're not hitting bad. There's barely anyone on the roster hitting under 270.
Yeah, they're all hitting really good.
Yeah, but it's just there's the farm system has to get fixed because Nelson Cruz is 40. Miguel Sano is almost 30. And he's leading you in home runs. My biggest problem was Nelson Cruz leading you in RBIs and batting average. I can't think of his name. I think it's Ref Snyder or something.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's hitting 277. Guys like that need to be the guys leading the Twins. Byron Buxton needs to be leading the Twins, hitting tanks. He was having an MVP year in the first month, and he kind of fell off this month. But it comes down to me with you have to get guys moved up out of the minors and get this team fluctuated youth-wise.
Something that would help is stop getting blown out and putting Williams Astudillo and pitching every other game. It feels like
You're a Mercedes tank.
It feels like every other night I get on Instagram and he's pitching. I'm like, oh no, it's a bad day to be a Twin.
I agree.
Anything else?
Fixing getting more youth players in.
Yeah.
All right, going to the next thing, which is something I've really been wanting to talk about because as a Braves fan, I hate the Mets. But I'm crazy if I don't say Jacob deGrom isn't one of my favorite players to watch day in every 5 days. So it comes down to the question is, will Jacob deGrom be the best pitcher of all time by the time his career is over? If not, where would you put him?
Yeah, it's more where would you put him. I don't think. I read that, and again, I did this at 7 o'clock this morning, so maybe the stats are a little off. I don't know. We're going to be honest here. But I went through and I was looking at Koufax. I was looking at Clemens, especially a guy like me, Pedro Martinez, who I think is my greatest pitcher of all time. And I just went, it's the real age factor. When's Jacob deGrom going to fall off? Because guys like that fell off at 36, 37, and what's deGrom already? He's what, 33?
He's only about 31, I think.
I think he's right around 31 to 33. So it's coming. He's got about 4 or 5 more prime years left for Jacob deGrom. The thing that people are going to always say about Jacob, it's the ERA. No one scores runs on Jacob deGrom. He's always going to have that under 2 ERA, I think, for his career almost. But the innings, the strikeouts, I mean, the games played, like, he's never touching Koufax. He's never touching Maddox. He's never touching Pedro. I think it's more of where you're going to put him and where you're going to stop when you go down that list, and where does ERA matter? Because guys like Pedro and those had the 2.7s, the 2.8s, but they played 100 more games than deGrom. So it's like, I don't know how you compare it.
DeGrom will get the games. He's still going to play till he's 40 probably.
Like Pedro started when he's 21, and deGrom didn't start until he's 26. Like, you're not touching Martinez in games.
Well, that's like when we were watching the other day. Like, he's really not giving up hits till like the 8th inning.
That's where it comes out. How much is that ERA going to matter?
Big time.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think he's going to be a top 10 guy ever.
He'll be top 5, without a doubt. I would put just because they played.
Let me say this: have you seen his stat this year for his ERA plus? No, ERA plus. Have you seen it?
I don't think anyone's going to touch him in the last 2 decades. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen a pitcher like deGrom. Like,
but now, like,
since I've been
back then, the pitching rotation is a little bit different than now it is now. Now you're probably thinking.
Have you seen his ERA plus?
You might
this
take
year?
7, 8 games.
Average pitcher in MLB, their ERA plus for average is 100, and then a good pitcher in MLB is 125. Jacob deGrom's is 689 this year. The higher is better now. I
think Jacob deGrom's going to get raised to a status because he's better than the pitchers today. He's not touching complete games or shutouts by Pedro. Koufax had 41, 42. Jacob deGrom has 4 or 5 shutouts. Like, ever. Pedro Martinez has 41. Like there's. I agree. He's gonna be like 5, 6, like right there.
Top 5.
I just don't know.
I think he's still gonna be.
Ain't no starting pitcher throwing 102, dude.
If I'm putting him in the top 5, I'm putting him 5.
Velocity's not everything. Dude.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying though.
Like, the stats have to matter at some point. Like yes, old times they pitch them a lot longer than they do today, but like I feel like it just has to matter.
That's what I'm saying. Back then, rotation is a little bit different than now.
I agree.
Now you might be taking 2 weeks off for your pitch again.
I agree with that.
Garrett Cole pitches every
and then he rubs his inside of the glove.
That's why they curveball in the dirt. That's why I throw 102 out.
Hey, well that's a great thing to go off of Garrett Cole. Going to our next question, the whole cheating allegations towards pitchers lately, it's called. I personally call it the spin rate. Just spin rate. As you saw, Garrett Cole a couple weeks ago, the RPMs on his curveball was like something insane, like 550, 600. And then his next start, after he got accused of the whole cheating, his curveball was like 300 rotations per minute.
Got pooped down by the Rays.
So it brings to the question is, how long are they going to let pitchers keep cheating, abusing these foreign substances before like, what do they need to do to get this to stop? Because clearly a 10-day suspension.
Walk out to the mound, hey, let me see your glove.
Well, I don't think they're going to push it.
Clearly a 10-day suspension without pay does not matter to them if they're going to keep going out and still doing it.
I just don't think they're going to push it because I think they almost like it. It's giving them views. It's giving baseball more
work.
They're not really going to like...
It's getting baseball talked about. Like,
they're not really going to worry about it that much, though. They're really not. They're not gonna...
it's ruining, ruining baseball because people are throwing no hitters. But I just don't think.
How many no hitters do we have this year?
There's
8.
If you just look at all the cheating stuff, dude, there are so many pitchers doing this. Like so
especially
many different.
Everybody talks about Garrett Cole as the big
many.
name. I mean, Everybody's doing. Jacob DeGrom.
I think
he did it last game. Actually, did you see that?
the one I'm mad about is Brandon Woodruff, because like really, Brandon Woodruff is not a good pitcher at all. Like he's never did this in Milwaukee, and now he's like Cy Young race, like no shot. Like
Corbin Burns.
yeah, Shane Bieber. Like it's just not. I get Garrett Cole, like, but then you get to a point like you see DeGrom doing
See,
it.
Garrett Cole's
That's
not good.
untouchable. Like DeGrom's good without it. Now he's untouchable. That's why his ERA is 1.4.
See,
What-
Garrett Cole's still good without it.
Like,
Garrett Cole's still good without it.
He's all right. He's not.
but you're not going to be as consistent every.
Yeah.
You're just not.
Because you're not getting spin rate.
Yeah, but you're just not doing it every outing. Like Garrett Cole's got his stuff.
Yeah.
He's got his
Garrett
stuff,
Cole's
but it's
still
not going to be
ace.
every outing. Oh, Garrett Cole got
Garrett Cole's still an ace, but he's not
Yeah.
pitching like he was.
But every ace has a bad game.
Yeah, I'm just
Every
saying.
ace has a bad game.
Without it though, he's still dominant.
What I was gonna say, two things. One, I think they'll let it keep going until a big name player like speaks up. It's like this has got to stop, like a Trout or
Like a
a
Bad,
Tatis, a Cunha.
I don't know.
Until somebody that,
Yeah.
because
Wait
if some,
wait till the
well, all I'm saying is, once a big name says it, the MLB knows they'll start losing money if they keep letting it go.
I put needle in my arm. I don't know.
I don't know. I think honestly, I don't think people of that name are going to step up and say something. So I think it's not going to be a problem. I don't think until the offseason. I think.
My second question comes, once it finally does end, once MLB actually drops the hammer on this, how many ERAs do you think we're going to see skyrocket?
This Jacob DeGrom could be top 10. It just goes to a 5. It's
Brandon Woodruff had a sub 2 ERA. Oh, now it's 7.
The photos got on TikTok, which you guys can post on TikTok
Yeah,
at
I
CBJ
think
Sports, he sits there and he constantly sits there and does that.
Love the shameless plug.
And he was talking about it was like 68% of the pitchers and the starting pitchers are using foreign substance.
Yeah,
their spin rate is just skyrocket.
because they see no one else is getting
Yeah.
stopped.
So it's like-
oh, if they want it, I can do it.
Everybody's saying steroid. I mean, everybody.
Okay.
What?
Yes, there's no question about
I don't think so.
it. Yeah.
Nitro.
Yeah.
Boom! Tank!
I was saying, imagine
Everybody's trying to get better. Yeah, they're gonna use
Imagine
it
Mike Trout got caught.
until they get caught. I believe it.
I don't think.
Okay.
I think if he got caught, I don't think the MLB was saying anything.
There's like, oh no.
You're still the greatest player of all time. We're just gonna keep it low key and.
Yeah, I think we're good on the foreign substances
it's
stuff.
kind of like the whole LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody tested it.
But okay, moving on. Early Rookie of the Year predictions for the AL and NL. Anybody want to go first? Because I
I will.
completely forgot about
Of
this.
what? Which division?
You pick.
I'm going to go AL first because I think the AL is the easiest because it has to be a White Sox. I think I had 3 names going in. I had Yerman, Michael Kopech, Nick Madrigal. They're all having good years. I think the gimme is Yerman,
Yes.
but I think Kopech coming back off the injured reserve or however long he is on it. Michael Kopech gives you good outings after good outings after good outings, and I mean, Kopech's going to be a force in this league. He's going to be maybe a DeGrom someday. Like he's got the 102, he's got the curve. He's just maybe he can start cheating because then he'll get Rookie of the Year. But I mean, if Yerman doesn't win it, I got to give it to Kopech.
No, I'm gonna go with Yerman. The Yerman hater,
I
so.
think that's a game.
Animal.
I like it.
Man, I thought there's a name people are forgetting right now for Rookie of the Year.
I couldn't not give it to a White Sox.
Well, no, I just want to put this name out there. I'm probably going to go Yerman, but the name that a lot of people are probably forgetting right now is Randy Arozarena. He's a rookie this year. He's considered a rookie this year
I
because
just don't think he's doing what
played
Yerman's
postseason.
doing. Like Randy's not having.
I don't think he's gonna get it because Yerman's like actually a rook. It's weird. I don't understand that because like
It's
he played the whole year last
It's
year.
if you start on
played
opening
in
day.
postseason. He got called up like last 2
If
games.
you
of the
start
year.
on opening day, you can win Rookie of the Year.
I'm still going Yerman.
Because Jose Brady won it.
Right now, I'm looking at the betting odds, and they have it 1 Arozarena, 2 Kellenic, 3 Mercedes.
Kelvin's not winning. He went 0 for 40.
I know,
and got
it's
pushed
crazy.
down
Yeah, when was that last updated?
2 months ago.
Yerman's.
Who'd you go with?
I went Michael Kopech, but I also want to want to push a little narrative. Garrett Whitlock for the Sox is a relief pitcher. It's really hard for a relief pitcher in rookie of the year. He's got a .65 ERA and 20 innings pitched as a relief pitcher. Garrett Whitlock is balling as a rookie in Boston, and he's saving games for the Red Sox. So I just want to put that out there. Josh?
I'm reading this right here. Adolis Garcia for Texas Rangers.
That's a really good one.
16 home runs, 41 RBIs on 194 plate appearances.
Yeah, now that you say it, I
Dawson's
don't think
good.
Yermin's the favorite.
No.
Adolis Garcia, I completely forgot about.
Yerman's got to be it right now.
I think,
If they gave the award today, it's got to be Yerman.
Garcia just
That's the
won.
only reason I gave it to Kopech, because he got half a year left.
Garcia just won Rookie of the Month.
All right.
I mean, if we're talking right now, obviously he won it. So
2 months in the league. Dude, we see what Yerman was saying. There's no shot I don't give it to Yerman.
He's on my feet every day.
All right, territory I'm a little more familiar with is the NL. And to me, it comes down to 4 names when I hear this, the NL. And it's Cabrian Hayes, Sixto Sanchez, Ian Anderson, and Dylan Carlson. I think any of those 4, given another half of the year, could really come out and win it. And I think I'm going to go Cabrian Hayes just because he's kind of was expected to be a big name this year. He was kind of expected to be that big rookie coming in for the Pirates. And I think if it's not him, I think it'd probably be. I think Sixto's hurt right now, as a matter of fact.
I'm about to say, I went Dylan Carlson. He leads rookies in extra base hits, everyone. He's been so big. He's been filling in center field for the Cardinals. I think Dylan Carlson's been more of an impactful rookie than anyone else in the NL. I had to go Carlson.
I'm gonna just.
I'll go.
See, I had 6 step. I didn't used to tell you he's hurt. I
I
didn't know
don't
he's
know.
hurt.
I haven't seen him pitch in a while. That's all I'm saying.
I'll go.
I'm just gonna stay with 6 step.
I'll go pitcher. I'm gonna go with Trevor Rogers for Miami Marlins. He's got a 1.87 ERA right now.
That's not a bad one at all. There's just some names that slip under the radar because you don't hear them because they're not one of those great teams.
Yeah.
All right.
Jazz Chisholm for the Marlins also.
Yeah, that's.
It's a good one.
See, another person I forget that's a rookie just because he played last year. All right, is that the last one? Then? Oh yeah. Now getting on to a little more kind of serious topic. What should the Braves do to replace / deal with Marcell Ozuna?
Prison.
Okay, for anybody not informed on this,
That's good.
Marcell Ozuna hit his wife with a cane choke slam through a table, so he's kind of not in a position to be playing baseball right now.
Okay, but
more of a
let
prison.
me read what I wrote at 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I think the Braves are fine everywhere. On the field, in the lineup, with the bats. Except the big circle in the middle where you throw the ball to the batters. They'll be fine without Ozuna, as long as he's not a pitcher.
There's actually.
There's my paragraph.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. The Braves lead the MLB in quality starts this year.
It's just not how the game ends, though. it's just a relief.
Starting good, and they ain't finishing
It's a
good.
relief, dude. It's just not there.
But we're still not scoring runs like we should. We're only scoring.
You're only scoring 21.
All right, you want to be honest? You cut Marcell, you get your $300 million back.
Yeah. And then go get that relief pitcher, baby.
Nah, I think you just wait it out and see if he.
Did he?
If he really.
No, you're waiting that one out. I'm gonna be honest.
If he was
If
coming,
he comes back, he doesn't play for the same team. I mean, that's how it always goes.
we haven't cut him. I mean, I think there's a chance he could come back just for the fact we haven't cut him yet.
Might as well just let Pamela play whatever.
I mean, it seems like
My field.
Okay, can you be a
Can
relief
I please see Pablo Sandoval standing in left field, please?
you gotta put him in center at the very least.
I would cry.
I'd love seeing him running out the bullpen.
Dude, oh my god.
Can we have a pitch off between Williams Astudillo and fucking? Oh, there it is.
You're a tank. Okay, yeah.
Oh, we're
All right.
12-0? Nope.
Moving on to the wrap up.
I think this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be real fun.
I have stats here.
Oh,
Which golfer
got
has
stats.
Which golfer has the brighter future? Bryson DeChambeau or Brooks Koepka?
I want to go last.
I'll go first. DeChambeau's not winning a major.
Okay, he already has a U.S.
I mean, he's not. He's won a major, but he's not. Kepka. I'm going Kepka.
Bad start.
Okay.
I said that weird. I didn't mean that.
We're going to the brighter future, and that's DeChambeau, 100%.
Dude, Kepka, he doesn't even golf in the off season. Have you ever watched Kepka?
Yeah, I wonder why he can't.
I love Bryson DeChambeau, but when it comes,
DeChambeau. Kepka has more majors than him right now, but here coming up soon, DeChambeau's going to get on a hot run. He's going to be the face of golf.
Yeah,
he's going to have a brighter
future. Other golfers, right?
Yeah, he's going to have a brighter future
I
than
can say that
Kepka.
about Alexander Schauffele.
If
I can say that.
No. If Kepka keeps getting hurt like he is right now, he's going to be playing for
top
him.
5 in like last 3 majors he's played in.
I mean, if Kepka keeps breaking his knees, he ain't.
I like what DeChambeau's doing. He's trying to change the game, drive for the green. I like that. It's cool, but when it comes to like, we all saw he did. I think the Masters. I mean, the dude's short game is ungodly bad when it comes to a hard course like a major. It's horrible. Kepka has a better short game than DeChambeau, and that's gonna help Kepka in the long run.
The reason I chose Kepka, he's proven he can do it at the highest level.
Yeah, he's played golf longer.
He's got some time to go. He's only
That's why it's
31.
bright
He's
future.
only 31. He's got time to go. He's going to be competing in golf for the next decade. I give you that he's hurt sometimes. He could get hurt, but I mean, Tiger Woods gets hurt, Phil Mickelson gets hurt. They still come back. Phil wins majors still.
Yeah, Tiger Woods didn't have a back.
Yeah, and I think
Come on, Tiger Woods here.
he's got 4 majors and he finished second in a Masters. I just think I took him just because realistically he's more reliable to be good longer. Like I just expect Brooks Koepka to win a Masters. I mean, to win another U.S. Open. Like I just don't know when I'm getting.
When it comes to like Masters or something like that, I'm not putting money on DeChambeau because
that'd be a fun bet if you got like $1,000.
It'd be a crazy bet, but like I don't.
It's not hate because I love Bryson DeChambeau. It's just he's making it. He's putting all this pressure on himself and putting his name out there, and I feel like it's hurting him. Like
he's gonna figure it out here sooner or later.
He has to figure it out here sooner or later because golf fans are almost to this point of like maybe he's not the future.
You guys want a face of golf? You guys are talking about here, but it's like,
that's what happened when he won that Open. Is oh my goodness, DeChambeau looks perfect. He can drive it 300 yards. His short game looked good. Like if he can put that together, I'll come back to this podcast and be like, oh my goodness.
Golf is weird because it's not about you. It's not even really winning majors. Who are you going to see?
Whose
name are you going to see on that leaderboard? We'll say top 20. Who are you going to see on that top 20 more? Kepka or DeChambeau?
DeChambeau.
Like, if you can.
No, DeChambeau can shoot 27
Okay,
over
this is what.
Yeah, he can. Kepka's not.
Are we talking about only majors or
Any?
No. Okay. If we're
Whatever
talking about
majors,
any,
it don't
DeChambeau's
matter.
going to be up there more because Kepka only plays in.
Good one. That don't mean if they're playing.
DeChambeau. They're both going to be in the 20s. They're both going to be up there.
No.
Who was fighting Miller to win the tournament the other weekend? Kepka, thank you. All right, I think Phil got cut. I think DeChambeau got
Who's
cut.
three-putted 4 times that weekend? Oh, Kepka. All right, sweet. He
Okay,
got beat by
DeChambeau got-
50-year-old Phil Mickelson.
DeChambeau got cut. He didn't even play on fucking Saturday or Sunday. Okay,
I don't even know if
he got cut. He didn't get paid. Kepka got paid.
DeChambeau did too.
No, he didn't. He got cut. He did not get paid. You don't get paid if you get cut.
$5.
He played for free.
See, that's the thing because I love DeChambeau. I want him to be good.
Yeah,
It's just-
he has this where he gets cut. He's got cut so many times recently. I don't know.
No, I want to go back to his consistency point.
Stop.
I want to go back to his consistency point. It's almost like, yes, with golf, you want to be a phenom, where you're there every weekend, you're in that last group, you're with the Tigers, but at some point, you got to win. Like, in golf, you're not going to be considered good if you're just in the final group every
that's what
weekend.
people are saying about Kepka right now. When's the last time he won a major? Go ahead and tell me.
It was like, I had
2018 or 19 PGA Championship.
Okay, that's not long ago.
You know how many majors are in a year, Blake?
Okay,
You know how many times he's choked?
You know how hard it is to win a
Yeah, I
major?
get it. DeChambeau's haven't been up
DeChambeau
there.
has
I'm just
won.
saying, though.
Okay,
He can't win them.
that doesn't help the argument for DeChambeau, though.
Yes,
Yeah, little.
not at all.
I mean, DeChambeau's going to
Not
have
right
a
now.
future.
Not right
period.
now. I'll give you in the future.
That's
But
what the question is. The question is,
I think Kempke's going to be just as good as he is now.
Where
I don't think he's going to play for that much longer.
is DeChambeau playing this weekend?
That's what we said about Phil
I
Mickelson
don't know.
10 years ago.
Dude, the whole.
I hope
I looked at
somebody
the
got
top
cut.
10 earlier, dude, and it was a bunch
I'm
of
so
no names.
crying.
Dustin Johnson was like first going into Saturday. Dude,
No, he was third.
third, whatever.
Second.
There's a bunch of no names, unless it's switched.
Easy course down in South Carolina, but
Yeah.
I don't want to hate on Bryson DeChambeau, but it's like,
Bryson DeChambeau's 1 under right now. The leader is 13 under, so
Yeah, Kepi don't play, so.
because he's smart. He plays on the hard ones, not the easy ones.
Man, I'm really glad I wrote down this question.
I'm more,
Yeah, me?
I just trust like a Morikawa. Like, I feel like he is a,
I mean, there's other players I'm taking, but we're talking
I
about just
love
these
Alexander
two.
Schauffele,
These
like-
two. Who we taking? These two.
for me, has,
No, you can't go.
he's made himself so much of a villain to me. Like, he makes it a joke. He doesn't take it seriously. Almost.
Yeah. I mean, I know Captain definitely doesn't take it. I don't know. You ever watched him?
Yeah.
He literally, when the last tournament they play, he takes golf off for like 3 months. Doesn't play not one round of golf. And then when it's like 2 weeks before, he's like, I'm gonna start playing again. And look where he's at.
Except
Still.
in the match.
He's still more consistent than DeChambeau.
Or TJ.
All right, I actually have one more thing I had written down that I didn't show. It's just real quick. It's just it'll take a minute. I wanted to give y'all a little trivia. Just one little question, see if y'all know. Going back to the whole spin rate and everything. Can you name the 3 years in the MLB where they had the highest strikeout percentage among hitters?
That's between y'all two, I already know.
I know, but you saw him on Instagram. Billy just had it up.
No, he told me last
Oh,
night.
he told
Because
me.
Brian,
I don't know.
we were talking to Brian about
I mean, what
What
kind of question
year?
is this, dude?
it. 3 years out of.
I mean, usually when you do trivia, you name who won the Super Bowl in '72. You don't do, who had the highest
Miami,
spin rate?
isn't it?
What is the
There's
question?
seven.
Alright, name 3 years that have had the highest strikeout percentage.
Okay, so think of years that people cheated.
Strikeout percentage?
Yeah.
Among
Yes.
hitters.
Three,
The entire
3
MLB.
years.
Babe Ruth.
What year was the strikeout percentage the highest?
For a pitcher or all
2002.
pitchers?
All hitters.
Okay.
Where they hitter struck out the most?
This year?
That'd be just like guessing.
I'm gonna go this year.
Yes. Name 3 years.
This year,
So.
last year, and the year before.
Yep. 2021, 2020, 2019. It's getting higher every year. In the past
More
decade, it's
pitchers are
risen over.
cheating.
In the past decade, it's
Dude,
risen over like
shut up.
55%. It's insane.
I don't hate this. I don't. I think they allow it. I think MLB comes out with something. This is crazy. Let me talk. I think MLB should come out with something pitchers can use. But I think
It's called rosin.
But I think they also should make something different about the ball, where the ball flies further when they hit the ball.
They did that last
More
year.
home runs, more strikeouts, though. It's more fun.
We should just
They
make
did that last year.
home run
They
derby
had the
balls
juice
then.
ball, and all the pitchers complained about it. So they
Yeah, but let the pitchers use foreign substance.
Just use the home run derby balls.
Make MLB come out with
It's let
something.
it be blitz ball. Holy crap.
Don't let them use some crazy stuff, but give them a little something, like a little pine tar. Pine tar ain't gonna hurt a little bit. Whatever they're using now is crazy though.
It's
I don't know.
I don't know what they're using now.
I think.
Loogies.
I think it's a little more pine tar.
I don't know. I don't think they're really. I don't really even think about that much.
Josh.
Like, I don't.
I know. I think if they want to make MLB more fun, which it has to be, dude.
Oh,
MLB, I mean, they're getting the most talk right now. I think in the last couple of years, and it's because
There's
they're
more
cheating.
superstars
Yeah,
in
I
Major League
understand.
Baseball right
I think
now.
the whole let the kids play movement has really brought a lot of
Yeah, but I think
people
MLB should. But I think that's why I think to wait for the off season, and then they're gonna. I think MLB really should come out with something, a substance that they can use that's not crazy overpowered, or like spin rates up 400. Like I don't think it should
Wow,
be like
one
that.
thing-
But
Real quick, one thing I can't believe we didn't talk about was the playoff expansion. How it could possibly happen this year in the NCAA.
College football might go to 12.
Might go to 12
yeah,
teams.
it's in the talk.
That's huge.
I really hope it happens.
It won't though.
No, they're
It
saying
has to.
in the
proposal. I
commissioner,
already seen it. Baby.
It has
the
to.
commission, but it's the NCAA's commissioner that's
Proposal. I seen it.
It's in talk.
It's not gonna
right now.
happen.
It's in talk.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It has to happen.
It's gonna happen.
More football in college. Like, it just has to
more
happen.
money.
I mean, you got college basketball with 64 teams.
Yeah, fun.
I know it's different,
That's
but
different.
you go from 64 to
You have the FCS with third.
Georgia loses a game and then a year drops to like a 10.
It brings
gets to play
more
LSU
teams in.
6. Like,
Yeah. Because you have teams that are right
Oh no,
there.
yeah, I really hope does.
Because like we
I don't
said,
think it'll happen
Stop
this year.
yelling at me.
It's not gonna happen this
It's
year.
not gonna happen.
I think it should because it's gonna be teams.
San Jose State's.
Like I think
Let's go.
if they do it this year.
Coastal, baby.
Yeah, they would have been in. Coastal and Cincinnati would have been
But
in.
yeah, they would have been
And we
in.
can
But
go
like,
to our college football playoff game.
but like the question from the other podcast would be like this year. Sam Howell, if they lose to Clemson, they wouldn't be able to
They
get
still
in. But with 12 teams, North
But
Carolina's
they have
getting
to
in.
make it where they're playing like higher seed home field. Like I don't want it neutral.
What?
I want like the first round or two until you get the 4 left
At home.
to be top seed gets to play at home. So
I
like
agree.
you're selling out your home stadium. You know, dope. Like you
No,
get Coastal
college
gets a high
players at
seed, dude. You get to go to Coastal and watch them play like a 11. Dude, like that'd
You
be
know,
so-
man, I'd be able to play like LSU or
Dude,
something.
that'd be
Or
so
Bama.
dope though. See
Can you
this?
imagine? Can you,
Death Valley.
Game?
can you imagine a school like Ohio State having to go to Coastal to play their first round game?
That would be so great.
Ohio State
You can
just
see
walking
matchups
in
you
like,
never see. Like North Carolina, like I don't know.
I think they got it.
Bama go to North Carolina.
There's no North State.
Yeah,
Woo!
I hate the expansions. Like I hated the NBA one. I hated the NFL adding 2 extra wild cards, whatever it is. But I do like this college playoff one.
More
There's only
college
4. There's only 4.
God, no,
And it's been the same
People
kind of
want to
football.
watch college football.
Like people
football
want to
in
see a Coastal get a shot at Clemson. They want to see him get a shot at Bama. Because if that happens, that's storybooks. Like history books are broken. Like we don't get to see that because we only get to see Ohio State versus Bama because Ohio State's 4. Like we know what's gonna happen. Like
hey, maybe UCF fans will stop crying finally.
yeah, when they get beat by 30. like I just want that just make college football so much better.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
All right, everybody good?
So we're good. That is no, Billy. You don't get to wrap up. You got
All right.
your own segment.
Oh, no.
Let Billy do it. I want to listen.
Yeah.
I want to hear this. Today, Junior.
That's been episode, I think, what is that, 11 of CBJ Sports. You can listen on Spotify, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcast. Make sure to share it everywhere. We're going to post our YouTube clip. Make sure to put that on Instagram, Snapchat. We're just trying to get the name out there, trying to get sponsors. You can DM us on Instagram, Twitter if you want to ask questions for the podcast. We love y'all guys. Have a great week. Doses.